There you go. It's recording.
Okay. So first off, to answer many of your questions, yes, I did laugh a lot when watching that recording. It was very, very amusing. And some of you definitely know what Lord Daddy would think on things. Um, there's a scene about 26 or 29 minutes into the recording where we've been going on the road for a little while, and the dwarf, so Ymir and what's Cody's name in the game?
Well, his character name is Timothy.
Thank you. So Timothy and Ymir are trying to be able to see tall enough to see the smoke. And it's mentioned that one of them is trying to hold the other one. Meanwhile, Lord Dadu is trying his very best to ignore them both. And it's because at that moment, Lord Dadu is trying to finish up the ritual casting he's doing for Find Familiar. So very shortly here in the game, when things start commencing, you will see a purple with teal tipped scales pseudo dragon that likes to hover above Lord Dadu. And it's my dragon. Her name is Kiddo. She's not nice, but she's not horribly cruel either. And you are all absolutely right. Toward the end there, I absolutely readied Eldritch Blast. And after looking at Timothy / Carl, I did mutter again, "This is why we stay in the cart, people."
I love it. I really, really do.
And to Timothy's question, yes, and to reaffirm what you all said, yes, Lord Dadu is much more of the kill them all now, sort it out later adventure. That whole talking thing, that's real nice, but I'd rather live through the encounter than talk it out first. Okay, that's my recap from it. And it was absolutely, again, hilarious to listen to.
That's awesome.
While we have the minute, because Ymir isn't here yet, my pseudo dragon is almost 2 feet tall, and she likes to fly around me, kind of like a buzzard almost. Not really waiting for me to die, but hanging out. I'd watch your cat. I have no idea what pseudo dragons eat, but hopefully not disappearing kitty cats.
I hope not. Pseudo dragon. I like that name, Kiddo.
Well, the name for Lord Dadu, the character design, the picture, all of it, they were all drawn and they were came up with by my daughter.
Aw, that's awesome.
She made that whole thing out. And Lord Dadu has always been this like bright, shiny good guy to her, because that's who Dad is to her. So she was like, you could have 2 lightsabers or lightsaber and a shield, Dad. I was like, lightsaber and a shield. And she's like, okay. And she gave me Captain America's shield. I was like, those are the wrong colors though. So she quickly changed it to the correct colors. And yeah, and so when I had to come up with a character name, and as soon as I picked a half elf, I was like, yeah, that's gonna be Lord Dadu. The only difference is my daughter won't like this version of him. And then when I decided to go in 3rd level, warlocks can choose a pack, and most Hexblade warlocks choose Pack of the Blade. I chose Pack of the Chain, and that gives me a familiar, but it gives me access to a pseudo dragon familiar. So when I did that one, I asked her what color it should be, and I asked it in a group chat with her and her mom, and Autumn said purple and her mother said teal, or reverse, one or the other. And then Mom came up with, okay, well, how about purple with teal tipped skin? Why can't I think of the word for it?
Oh, like scales?
Yeah, thank you. Teal tip scales. And then they were like, what are you going to name it? And I was like, oh, the name's chosen. The name is Kiddo. That's what I call my kiddo.
Oh, that's so cute.
And the great thing is, if she dies, I can just spend an hour and remake her. She just poof, pops back into existence. It just takes me an hour, a bit of herbs. That's why you know, when Timothy gave me the herbs, they were not for smoking. They were for they were for summoning my pseudo dragon.
That's awesome.
She gives me the advantage of doing what you do with your cart or with your carpet
Really?
without having to leave the cart. I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
through her eyes up to a mile away.
What? That's so cool.
Of course, while I'm doing it, I'm a complete statue. So, you know, there's that. Hence why you stay in the cart, people. You know, between that and Eldritch Blast, which will go 120. Oh, by the way, the correct distance to everyone is 120 feet. But you can take what's known as Eldritch Spear, which takes it out to 300 feet. And then later on in the game, you can take what's known as Spell Sniper, which takes it out to 600 feet.
Dang.
Lord Daddy probably won't do the 600 feet. I might do the 300, but not the 600. Because 600 is just like, we haven't quite assessed the situation that much yet.
Yeah,
That's I'm really going to start this encounter before you can do anything.
yeah.
I don't know. To me, that sounds like I'm going to shoot the dragon before it gets to us.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you never know. That dragon could just be, you know, guarding its eggs and not wanting to have a conflict with us.
Don't you turn around and use my own situation against me, Ryan.
Hey, you were the one who mentioned it. I'm just saying.
I mean, you're not wrong, but still, don't reverse devil's advocate me.
But that seems like so much fun.
Did anyone hear from William? Is he coming or no?
I never heard anything that he wasn't coming. Has anybody pinged him?
He did not put anything in the party check-in.
I didn't.
All right.
I mean, it's technically true if they went, you know, like 3 hours ago.
You're right. I really should be more specific. Okay, so Cody and William, this one's for you. So where we left off last time, you were all at the cart after Cholula and Timothy had scouted out the farm that looked way different than you expected.
Mhm.
You saw a masked figure walk out of the front gates of the farm, fire a weapon, and then walk back in. What's your next step? What is your plan now? What do you want to do?
Well,
Was the shot in our direction?
Not at all. To give you an idea, like this is the road you're on. That's where the shot went.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do we want to try that being nice thing and, you know, walking up there and diplomatically try to talk about things?
you know,
I mean,
I'll
not
admit that-
shooting at things.
Well, if you walk up and I've learned this in real life, but if you walk up and you don't have your hands behind your back already, people are much more calm to talk to you about things. Service pistols don't get pulled if you have your hands in plain sight.
I mean, technically, we're expected, aren't we? Like this, Silver Tongue is supposed to be expecting us with this toad, but we don't know if who we're approaching is that person.
Mhm.
yeah.
But we don't know they're not that person.
That's true. I mean, from the information we have so far, it could be they were under attack by somebody and they cleaned house and now they're burning bodies.
Well, and Heather, to refresh, Cholula did see that the farm was still full of like all of the stuff that they would need to house toads, and there were toads there. Like that's something that she saw when she went over the top of the farm. They just weren't on the one side that was desecrated.
I'll admit, at first I kind of felt like we should just walk in there like normal. I mean, of course, be guarded, but now Timothy's a bit
Hey, yo.
compromised.
Well, that's
Uh,
why I'm thinking maybe going up to the gate, but not actually going onto their property yet. And maybe not with Mary in the cart, or not with the cart / Mary. Because
Okay.
if they are bad guys, I don't want Mary in the middle of what could be hit.
mhm. Should we all go up there and just leave Mary? I mean, I don't think that she'll.
Mary's still technically on the way, right? Because me and Amir are in the cart slowly getting to you, waiting for you and Timothy to come back on the magic carpet to let us know if we should approach.
they-
So,
They
right?
got back to you.
Yeah, they
Oh, they
made
got
it
back to
away.
us? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
bad,
you
my
got
bad.
this.
Yeah, you're all together at the cart right now.
Then yeah, I would say let's approach all together then.
Yeah.
With the cart.
Yeah, let's bring Mary. Like, we technically don't know that we're in any danger, right? I mean, like, somebody shot out their front door, but like, I'm not on guard necessarily.
But there were bodies. That was the one thing that kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies, right? There were bodies. They were moving bodies. So
And our
I
colleague.
mean, clearly something happened, but at the same time, like if we got a jet, maybe it would be better if.
Yeah.
Drop the toad and run.
Yeah.
To restate it, I mean, you're not wrong, but I want to make sure that you got it in the right context. The person that was in there was pulling bodies out of the wreckage of whatever had been standing there and then was throwing them on a fire. So yes, they were throwing bodies, but it wasn't like there was a pile of bodies that they were just pitchforking into the fire.
Yeah. But still throwing him in a fire, it just kind of makes me wonder, like, it's clearly not his buddies, you know.
Right. I
So-
just wanted to make sure that you were aware that there wasn't immediately apparently evil motivation. They just are doing something that is genuinely questionable.
Sorry,
I mean, they're
I
also
just got
wearing
back into Timothy's voice. I apologize.
they're also wearing, or at least the person we've seen is also wearing some kind of mask to shield them. So they could be burning the bodies to, make sure they don't get any kind of disease.
That's a
So
good
it
point.
could be a perfectly normal thing. That's why I don't want to go in. I just want to go to, because if we don't go on their land, then maybe we're not a threat.
Yeah. And we might still be able to, like, even if we did go up to the entry with Mary, we might still be able to jet with her.
All right, so we
if
walking
things
up
get
with Mary?
weird. Let's do it. I'm in.
Okay.
YOLO,
Kelly?
whatever.
Judging by what I know about the characters, I would say that Emir also would vote to go up together and Timothy would vote for everyone to stop. I only know that because right now Timothy is desecrated and hates everything. Anyway, so yeah, you pull your cart up, and I mean, it takes you maybe 10 minutes to get in front of the farm. And as you get up in front of it, I'd like everyone to make a perception check for me.
Oh God.
Uno momento.
Somebody broke me. I rolled a 1.
Rolled a William.
rolled a
William,
William?
damn it.
Wrong one.
William didn't show up for game tonight. You had to do it.
You broke me. That's better.
Okay.
None of us
Yeah.
rolled better than our passive perception. That's hilarious.
Well, I mean, it's okay. Torch and Cholula, you didn't roll high enough to get anything. Lord Dadu, a 13 is enough that you notice something that you genuinely immediately think is odd. I'm going to describe the scene and then describe how different it is for you. Okay.
Okay.
As the cart rolls up in front of the entrance to the farm, you are greeted with the same archway that Timothy had walked through. A large iron archway with a giant iron star in the center of it. And you can see that the smoke from one side of the farm is sort of trailing up. There are piles of like refuse and wreckage, like pieces of like burned out barn and things like that that are all stacked up outside the gate. And you cannot see the person that was described to you anywhere in here. As far as you can see, it looks safe to enter. Lord Dadu notices one thing that no one else does. That with everything that is in front of you, with the smoke moving across, with all of the desecration and devastation in front of you, you don't smell anything. You don't smell a single thing. You don't smell smoke. You don't smell death. You don't smell burnt wood. You don't smell any of that. You can clearly see it, but something's up.
So I'm going to share it with the group. I'm going to say, hey, don't let your eyes deceive you, or maybe our eyes are what's telling the truth, but I'm not sure what you all can smell, but I smell nothing, nothing at all. No smoke, no death, no burning, nothing. Entering right now through this gate, probably not the best of ideas unless we've actually talked to somebody.
We start banging on stuff to announce our arrival. We want them to come out to us.
We do. So, I mean, I'm all for shouting out hail and well met.
So you're trying to gather their attention.
Yeah.
You are, I didn't assume that you had like rolled in. I assume you sort of parked out front.
Right.
Am I correct to assume that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would put you probably about 15 or 20 feet from the gate. And then from like the farmhouse, probably close to 100, give or take. So your voice can carry. So if you're shouting, that's fine. So
I think I'm going to walk up to the actual gate itself, but not actually go over the line of the wall. And then, yeah, I'm just going to shout out hail and well met.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
14.
Cool. So you don't see it immediately, but from somewhere off to your right, you hear the sound of a gun cocking.
I'm going to immediately yell out, we come in peace. We bring a toad.
I'm going to need y'all to put your hands up real slow.
I just need to verify everything's safe real quick first. Traveler, or in person, wherever you are.
I'm one and y'all are what, 5, 6 of you? Which one of us is outnumbered? Put your damn hands up.
Lord Daddy has no issues raising his hands.
Yeah,
I mean,
we come.
do
in
all the
peace.
halflings really count as one? I'll put my hands up. But
Yeah, so as you sort of take the submissive position, you see the barrel of the gun first as it sort of comes around the side wall of the threshold. There's a bayonet affixed to the front of it that looks like it's seen some action recently. And the barrel has gone black with use. But you see the knotwork all the way up and down the sides of it, the high quality wood and metal. This thing alone probably costs 1,000 gold pieces. This is not some bullshit farm implement. This is something important. And the person in front of you wearing this long, dark duster and thick clothes underneath, the kind of stuff you use to pull things out of a fire. They're looking at you through these open goggles with a very hard stare. You can't see that though. All you see is this person with a gun pointed at your chest. Who are you?
I feel like somebody else should. Are the two of you with me up there?
Yeah, we're all together, right? And
Yeah.
we're parked, are we at least arrived together?
Yeah, you arrived together, but Ryan was the only one who declared that he was going up the gate.
Yeah, like
If you want to say
Oh.
you're there, that's fine. I don't have a problem, but he is the only one that said he was there.
the cart's a good 15 feet away from the gate.
Right, it's like 20 feet.
And I actually walked up to the gate, but not actually inside.
Yeah, you're right at the threshold.
So did the two of you join me then?
Is-
I would have flanked you. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So does somebody who isn't a liar for a living want to try to talk to this person?
Someone who doesn't lie for a living. Too bad Amir's not here.
Well, since
'Cause otherwise
Ymir's
I-
not here. Oh, sorry.
Otherwise, I can. I mean, I've got a. Well, yeah, I can do it if you guys want me to. But typically, our
I like
paladin-
it. I like the sort of headcanon that Lord Dadu has got himself at gunpoint. And he's like, okay, I need someone who doesn't lie. Anybody? Because they're gonna know.
Well, I would just tell him that I feel like Ymir would offer here to explain why we're here.
We have the deed of the toad.
That definitely
Yeah.
sounds like an Amir thing. To be the first one to go, hey. Yeah,
Yeah.
you do. You have a deed for the toad. And are you producing that? Is that your plan?
Yeah, if that's what I would, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
we have a
yeah.
legit reason to be here.
I mean, yeah, it's in the party's inventory. So yeah, you pull it out and you're presenting this person with the deed. Are you handing
come
it
in
to them? Or are you
peace.
just like holding it up so they can read it? Like what's the plan?
Yeah, that sounds good to
Yeah.
me. I'm not, like,
Yeah.
they haven't pointed at us, so
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Well, I guess our hands are up, so it'd be like, let me go ahead and get this.
The barrel of the gun points skyward away from you, Ryan, as this person moves forward and grips that deed out of your hand and reads it real close up against the goggles. And then hands it back to you. And then pulls off the mask, and you see underneath this really fair-skinned elven woman with long golden hair in tight braids. Y'all were supposed to be here 2 days ago. Well, get in here.
Respectfully, ma'am, I can't smell anything at all. I can see a huge pillar of fire. Is it safe for us to walk in here? Like one of our friends, he tried scouting the area for us. He's a little different than he was when he left. Do we have to worry about any kind of ill effect coming in here?
Yeah, what he said.
Don't go near the black.
Okay, I'm gonna avoid the black and I'm gonna just follow her in, and I would imagine one of us needs to run. I'm probably the faster of all of us, so I can run back and grab the cart.
Well, Timothy's on the cart, so I was just gonna have Timothy drive it in.
Okay, cool.
So I want to describe this to you. So she tells you to avoid the black, and you look down underneath your feet and you can see that there are splotches of black earth all over the way in front of you. On the left-hand side of this path leading up to the farmhouse, it is still a lush green color, just like the rest of the plains out in front of you. To the right, it is a black and gray texture of dead grass and dirt, and the remains of buildings and who knows what else. You're not
Okay.
gonna have to try hard to avoid stuff, but I want to plainly tell you what it is.
Can our cart get through without touching the black?
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Okay. So I'm gonna, I guess, follow her lead and just walk with her in the not black areas.
Yeah, that's easily done. She walks up to the front of the farmhouse and goes and opens the door and steps inside. As soon as the door opens, from inside there, you can smell the best stew you have ever smelled. There is tea boiling in a pot on the stove top, and you can smell fresh baked bread. In this current place, that is shocking to you. It is almost overwhelming because of the amount of nothing that's here. Are you heading inside?
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you head inside the farmhouse, you see that the inside is decorated very sparsely, very plainly. Everything that is in there clearly has a purpose, and there is nothing there just for decoration. There's a work table over towards the back of the room that has all sorts of bits and bobs of metal, wire, and there is a large keg next to it marked gunpowder. There's a round table in the center of the room with a candle burning on it, and a stove and a small kitchenette over to the right-hand side of the room. She walks in, hangs her coat up on the coat rack by the door, and goes and sets her gun on a pair of clawed hands that have been mounted above her fireplace.
Interesting wall mount for your gun there. I approve.
Yeah. What took you so long to get here?
Werewolves.
A giant metal beast that
Gone,
came
yeah.
at us. And oh yeah, there was this weird pillar of flame / smoke that had a person in it that kind of blocked the road for a bit. We also got sidetracked into a forest due to the toad running off.
I don't think I've ever seen one of them suckers run, but I feel like I understand where you're heading.
Myconids.
So what happened here, ma'am?
There's a thing that lives out there on the plains that don't come out until it's dark. Hard as hell to see, and even harder as hell to kill. And they've been hitting this farm every night for the past 2 nights. They
How
took
many hours
Paul-
is it till?
They
how
took
many hours
Paul- They took Paul. I'm all that's left.
How many hours is it till night?
It's about 7 hours.
So at this, can we hand the deed to her and officially declare that we've got, or that we've given her the merchandise we were supposed to? And does she want it right now?
So you're gonna hand her the deed? I assume like we'll do this in steps because you just gave me like 5 things you wanted to do.
Does anybody else have a problem with handing her the deed?
Oh, I have no problem,
Um,
right? Our end goal, we deliver, marry, and leave.
So she collects the deed from you and puts it down on the table and rolls it out now next to the candlelight so she can read it proper. Well, you found the right place. You found the right person. but I ain't sure that I can pay you. If you see what's going on around here, I mean, I need every stitch I got. But I don't want to send y'all off empty-handed.
Well, this thing that's coming, is it coming back tonight?
I bet so. I don't know what it wants, but it's taking all of us.
I mean, at that, I'm gonna drop the hood of my cloak and reveal my elven ears. I'm all right with helping another elf out if my compadres want to stay.
Oh yeah, I feel like we should help.
When have we shied away from a fight?
She has this sort of, it's somewhere in between a sneer and a smirk. Almost as though she's really excited at the idea of having assistance, but also doesn't trust you for anything.
Makes sense.
And she extends a hand to you, Ryan. You swear on it?
Is the party good with staying?
I am.
As usual, I'm outvoted.
Oh no.
Okay, it's an adventure.
I'll shake her hand and swear to it. Let's see what this thing is. I can't guarantee we're going to be around night after night, but let's see what we can do to ward this thing off this place.
It ain't much left, but welcome to Silver Tongue Farms. My name's Illyria. Let's go fight tonight, huh?
And after shaking her hand, I'm going to ask her, so our friend over there, Timothy, he came back kind of different. You got any insight to that and preferably a way to, correct that for us?
Whatever the hell they did over there, that whole side of my farm is cursed. Anything that's gone back over there without proper protection has come back out weird.
Do we need to be worried about him? Like worried that he's going to harm us or your property?
I can't imagine so. I haven't seen anybody turn on anyone like that, but it's like it changes them. I ain't for any other religion, but maybe if you take them to a temple, it'll help. Couldn't hurt.
And the nearest temple's from where we left.
Right?
What's that?
The temple's 2 days away.
Actually, yeah, it's in Reef, and that's 2 days from where you are. So, yeah. So
We got Carl for a while.
yeah, you got Carl for a little while. So you now from inside the farmhouse can see every side of the property because the windows show out in all directions. Over on the entire left-hand side of the farm, the whole place is just black as night, and not a single thing is left living on the ground. Birds swoop in and land and immediately die. On the right-hand side, you have incredibly overloaded toad pens. There's probably 15 of them, 16 counting Mary now. To the rear of the farm, there is a barn. Big, made of wood, big red metal top. You can't see inside it from where you are, but you know where it is now.
Illyria, has whatever it is been coming for you or the property or the toads? Do you have any idea what it wants?
I wish I did. There hadn't been a thing like this, and I can't tell you how long. This place has been pretty safe. I mean, for what it is. I mean, that's why we set up shop here. Yeah, I mean, there are wolves, but we lock the doors and nothing comes through. And I ain't afraid of defending myself. But this is something way worse. This thing, it's like living night. Shadows with legs. They creep along the ground and they attack you in the night.
Does light pierce it? The night.
No.
Can I make an investigation check from the door to see if I can identify what's going on with the blackened property at all?
Investigation wouldn't be the right skill for that. You can make either a history or arcana check.
I'm gonna go with history.
Since you're not from this area, it's going to be history with disadvantage.
Well, let's see what happens.
Okay.
Oh, look at there. I got a whole lot of nothing on that one. I got 6.
Yeah, I saw. The fact is though that you didn't really do a whole lot better with the high number, so I wouldn't feel too bad.
I mean, that's true. Apparently I didn't roll enough this afternoon.
Or maybe you rolled too much.
Maybe. Either way, it looks like I pulled a William.
Well, you got a 6, so that's not enough to get what you want exactly. But since it is a history check, regardless of how you score, you still get something. It just might not be as detailed as you need. A 6 in your history check, it tells you that this thing, whatever it is, if it's ever happened before, then people around here should have known about it. Your immediate thought to that is that you don't know how long this farm's been here.
Ma'am, when did it take Papa, as you said?
I'm sorry?
Or Pa? Yeah. When did you take, or when did it take Pa?
It took Paul back 2 nights ago.
And you haven't seen him since?
No,
I mean, no disrespect when I say it and everything, but if you haven't heard it at all, and you're the last here, is it worth you staying? Again, no disrespect.
sir, this took my parents from me. I'm not going to leave here unless they're dead or I am.
I can relate. Okay. Is there anything that you found to be helpful in warding it off or killing it or damaging it or anything?
It sure as hell does not like silver. And it reacts even worse to fire.
Okay.
But they're fast as hell.
They? Is it more than one thing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a whole mess of the little ones.
Have you hit one of the little ones at all?
I got one pegged up on the back wall. If you want to go around the house.
Yeah, I'm absolutely gonna go look at that.
Oh,
I want
yeah.
to know if it's what we faced on the road already.
So you go around the back side of the house, and there is a screeching little critter that is tacked up to a large post by a couple of silver nails. You immediately recognize it as one of the shadow creatures from outside the Fey camp.
The fact that she caught it with it having as little hit points as it has is absolutely amazing. But that also boosts Lord Daddy's confidence in that, okay, we faced that before.
Mhm.
The bigger things I'm gonna surmise are the things that we did not go after on the hill.
Bingo.
That's gonna be fun. Kind of wish we had Gregor with us.
Yep.
Sorry about
uh, Illyria stayed in the house, so y'all are outside by yourselves. And it's real hard to drop that southern accent when I started.
that.
Just a bit. It's hard not to copy it.
Would my detect good and evil tell me anything more about the black side of the ranch?
Yes.
All right, I'd like to.
Yeah, it would tell you that the magic that has affected this is necromancy, because it'll tell you the school of magic.
Okay.
And you know that it is fiendish in nature.
What does that actually mean? Fiendish in nature.
So detect good and evil can detect the presence of certain creatures. It's got a list on the spell. One of the things it can detect is fiends. I am saying that this is fiendish in nature because they have killed several of those black things somewhere out there in defending their farm. So there's bits and pieces of them all out there.
Is it possible to fix the gate before it comes again, before night?
Possibly. Let me see what I think a good roll on that would be for you. We'll call that survival. I will want 3 checks.
Well, there happen to be 3 of us here.
Uh-huh.
So what do you say we
All
check and see
right.
if we can fix that gate? Maybe it'll add some defense to us.
Ooh, I have +5 survival. Oh, thank goodness.
Hey, there we are. Now you're rolling like a Heather.
And I'm not.
Yeah, that's great. 17, 19. Beautiful. Okay, so Torch and Cholula, you were able to stand the doors up and lock them in place again. Lord Daddy, your job was to repair the lock that holds the thing closed, and you have not succeeded.
Womp womp.
So you have gate doors again, but no working lock.
Can I fuse it shut with Eldritch Blast?
Eldritch Blast will blast through it.
It's not quite what I want. Well, some wall is better than no wall. Although, I don't know. Somebody
Here,
else can
actually,
check to see if
here's what I'm going to do. I don't usually roll off of other people's sheets, but I'm going to go ahead and for the sake of it, I will roll that.
Wow. You merely rolled a
Yay.
Heather.
Whoop, whoop.
So congratulations, William. You just rolled a 19.
All right.
Uh,
He's gonna be so sad he missed it.
right. I rolled high. Yeah, so Lord Daddy, you fail spectacularly at repairing that lock. And for a split second, you think to yourself, maybe I can make this better with Eldritch Blast. And then Amir comes up behind you and just goes and nails a board over the two doors. It is like, we can do this a different way.
I'm gonna look right at him and say, I'm used to picking locks, not putting them up. I want the locks gone normally. That's my goal.
So yeah, Emir spends his turn sealing the door. So without a spectacular amount of work, or I guess a significant amount of damage, that door probably won't be opening from your side.
This is probably something we should have done before putting the door up, but I'm assuming being it was barged inward that they came from the road. So I'm gonna go ask what's her name?
Illyria.
Illyria, will that door help at all? Or did we just lock ourselves in?
Well, the door didn't hold him long before, but it did slow him down. And y'all look like you're a bit better equipped than Ma and Pa were. We only had the one gun between us.
What else can we do before the night?
Sorry, what?
Just asking my fellow adventurers, what else can we do before the night and this thing possibly gets here?
I think we should definitely check the areas that we can to make sure we don't have any holes, like in the fence and stuff, or the wall. I mean, you know. So I guess I'll do that.
Well,
can go check the
real quick,
perimeter.
by going over the black areas, does that desecrate or is it if you touch them?
You have to touch it.
Okay. So to aid in that, can I send Kiddo around the inside perimeter to see if there's any holes that I can see through Kiddo's eyes?
Sure. While you're doing that, you're effectively incapacitated
Right.
wherever you're at. But yeah, like you can send Kiddo out to go look around.
So I'm gonna tell everyone, I'm gonna hop up in the cart first seat real quick here, and I'm gonna send Kiddo around the perimeter to check what Cholula wanted, and that way none of us are out there.
Okay, sure. Roll perception.
Oh, Dado.
Okay. All right.
So,
Just stick with me for a
wait,
second.
that's my perception. Do I roll a different one for Kiddo?
Your familiar uses that same thing for you.
Okay.
Where are we at? There we are. I'm gonna roll it to myself.
Need William, he takes all the bad rolls. Jeez.
Okay, Ryan, even or odd?
Odd.
Cool. So you're gonna be happy that you picked odd. Yeah, you send Kiddo out and you don't detect anything except what you had already seen. And as they wrap around the back side of the house and then start flying over the top of the toad farm, the toads all start slapping their tongues out trying to grab onto it. Flies back in. Yeah, you succeeded at not getting eaten by a toad.
This Kiddo's amazing.
Right. Good job, Kiddo.
Job,
Dodging
Kiddo.
those toads.
So I'm gonna report back to the group. Kiddo didn't really see a whole lot of what we already saw. Cholula, you're welcome to make a run on your carpet, I would recommend, not on ground if you want to, but again, I didn't see anything out there with Kiddo.
How close are we to nighttime again?
At this point, you're at about 5-6 hours.
Hmm.
So you're gonna
Sorry,
go
I'm
scout
not
or
sure.
not?
Yeah, I'm gonna go scout. Yeah,
Okay,
let's do
cool.
it. Let's just do it. I'm gonna.
Awesome. So you raise up into the air and you can see pretty plainly the sort of rectangular area that is the inside of the farm perimeter. And all of those walls look like they are stable. It doesn't look like there's any holes in them or anything like that from your perspective. If you make a perception check, I can give you more than that. It's okay, Heather.
Miles, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Did you guys like hear that?
No, none of that.
Okay.
I can just read lips pretty well.
Yeah, if you don't mind, my daughter, she asked me something right when you said all that. I apologize.
No, it's okay. All I was essentially saying is that you can see the perimeter of this place and it looks like the walls are stable and it doesn't look like there's any holes in them. But I can give you more information if you roll perception.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Oh,
Woo! A 22 in perception.
Rolling.
Yeah. All right, cool. I don't even know why I make you roll anymore. If it wasn't auto-generated, I think you were lying by this point, the amount of high rolls you get. Anyway, yeah, so 22. Okay, so you can plainly tell that these walls are solid. It doesn't look like there's anything that has gotten through them. However, the wall along the rear of the farm is also part of the rear of the barn. And that wall is the only one of all of the walls that is made out of wood. All of the other ones are made out of stone.
Okay.
You also see that along the back side of the farm, there are about 20 bodies of those smaller shadow creatures, just littered everywhere.
That's outside the fence.
And on top of the barn, you see 2 large sacks of grain in what looks to be some sort of a gunner's post.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back to the group and let them know what I saw and suggest that we go check out the barn and that section just to make sure that it's good. And I'm also kind of curious about what's going on with that gunners.
So you're telling us all about that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that the grain up on top was where someone was laying down with that rifle and mowing things down.
That was Paul.
Okay. Okay.
Go Paul. How did they? I'm gonna ask her. How did they get Paul?
They had one that could fly.
Okay. Well, at least Paul had the good sense to leave the gun for you,
Seems as though he was a hell of a shot too.
right?
It was.
How'd you find out silver affects it?
That was Ma. When she grabbed the gun off the ground, she started taking to him like a pitchfork to hay. And I swear to the Lord, I'd never seen nothing that did that before. Sucker burned down to the core.
Now, when you were saying it burned down to the core, do you mean the little ones or do you mean bigger ones? Maybe not like the biggest ones, but bigger than the little ones.
Only the little ones got in to start.
Okay.
Wasn't until the big ones came that they were able to take her.
I'm gonna say to the group, silver would definitely be good, but judging by the thing that's tied up in the back, anything we have should be able to kill those as well. As far as the big ones go, that I can't say yet. We haven't seen it or we haven't gone up against it, but we should at least be able to make dents in the little ones. Man, when they left, were they still in great number?
I couldn't tell you.
Why'd they leave?
That's a hell of a question.
Was Dawn coming?
I really can't say. After everything started getting bad, Mob barricaded me in the house. I couldn't see anything.
Miles, I have a question for you.
Sure.
About my rope.
Yeah.
My carpet.
Yeah.
I have a note. It says shines with, and then it's blank. What is my rope made of?
It shines with silver light.
Okay. Okay. But it's not, it doesn't have silver in it. Does it have silver in it?
You don't know how the makeup of something gifted to you by a god is. So
Okay.
You can
Okay.
guess.
Okay.
It could be
Nail blader,
silver
maybe?
paint. You don't truly know. But judging by where it came from and the means at which you were given it, it's probably pretty important.
It turned into a carpet because I needed a carpet. Would it turn into anything that I needed?
Well, it's effectively some form of like linen rope. So it could essentially take the form of anything that could have been made out of that same amount of linen. It would just take an hour to change it.
An hour, huh?
You've got the time. So if you wanted to do that, you can definitely do that. The reason why it takes an hour is because it's not something that you can do like willy-nilly. You can't do it mid-combat.
On the other hand, having the ability to fly whenever you want to is kind of nice.
It is.
Because if something can't get to you, it can't kill you.
That's true. Though if it is imbued with silver, it might make a fantastic whip or some sort of, maybe line my my hammer with it.
That could work too.
Miles, out of curiosity, how much, if any, damage would the toads take by eating these little things?
You wouldn't know, and Illyria hasn't let them.
They went after a kiddo. Maybe they'll take out the little ones for us.
What you do know of it, like really specifically you and Emir know it the most, is that the thing has acid for blood.
That is true.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean it won't work, because there are creatures that eat creatures that have acid in them all the time. That happens. It's just, you know what's in this thing. It's sort of a very hard shell around a very nasty, gooey center. It's the worst kind of M&M.
True. It hurts your teeth and then it tastes bad on top of it.
M&M, monsters and mucus.
We'll go with that too.
I am going to go ahead and unravel my carpet.
Okay.
Back to rope.
Okay.
And then later when it's time, I think I'm going to cast spiritual weapon and I'm going to wrap my rope around the weapon and hope that it is silver.
Okay.
That's okay?
That's perfectly fine with me.
Right.
I'm not,
Let's do
you don't even have to make a roll for that. That's all stuff you can just do. So, yeah,
Okay.
cool. I think you do have to mark off spiritual weapon from your spells though, right?
Yes.
Oh, when the time comes, she's not casting it yet, though.
No,
Yeah.
but she had said she was going to do it before you got to the next bit. So if she marks it off now, I'm not going to like have a timer going, but at least that way it's marked off before we start combat. So she doesn't have a spell slot she doesn't actually have.
Ma'am, did you see the flying one take Paul?
I did.
Did it have to make several attempts?
No. That sucker was taller than me. 4 big arms, huge bat wings, black as night.
Do you by chance read other language other than Elvish?
Yes. What'd you have in mind?
Can I show her what I wrote down from the one werewolf and see if she can read it?
Oh, from like the stuff from the back of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd like to show that to put it on. I'm gonna roll it out on the table and say, do you by chance know what this means? I haven't acquired that skill yet.
She looks over the parchment that you laid out in front of her and sort of puzzles over it a minute, and then walks over to where her workbench is and pulls a book off of her shelf and walks back over and sets it down next to the scroll and flips it open. And you can see that inside of the book is the same kind of runes that are on that paper. And it has translations for runes in the book. So she is now flipping through trying to figure out what the hell this message is. I can try and get this for you, but it's probably going to take me some time.
That'd be much appreciated. It might help us better understand what's coming.
I can certainly try, but if I'm doing this, I'm going to be trusting y'all to make sure this place is ready.
But what else needs to happen before nightfall, ma'am?
I wish I knew. I ain't never had to defend this place by myself before. I don't even know where to begin. But I know that they came from out in the plains. And I know they came fast. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm just hoping that if y'all are here, that we're going to be able to figure this out. I guess do whatever you think is best out there. She seems to have gone from this sort of strong, hearty, very spiteful person into very, very concerned, as she starts to realize that she is the last one left.
So at that, I'm gonna put my cloak back, or my hood on my cloak back up, and I'm gonna say, ma'am, as my friend over there, Ymir, would say, we'll do what we can for you. And then I'm gonna then I'm gonna walk back over to the cart, sit back down, and I'm gonna have Kiddo perch on the top of the house, overlooking the area where they came. And you're
Cool.
just gonna see my eyes glow bright green, and I'm just gonna stare at that area and that whole area of field where they were coming.
Okay. To reiterate for the two of you, should we get to such a situation, Ryan cannot see or hear anything where his body is right now. It is all inside of his familiar. So that means that if something were to come and attack him, he would have no idea.
Don't let me die.
I just want to highlight that because I know the two of you haven't played in this type of setting yet. So.
I can't go hunting all the silver nails and shut him in the door.
I mean, you could, but he's decided he's going to sit on the cart. So I guess you could. I mean, I don't know what your strength score
In
is.
his
Like,
body,
throw
right?
him
Like
over your
he's-
shoulder and just carry him around.
Isn't the cart in the house that we're in?
No, the cart isn't in the house. The house is just a house. Like you couldn't fit a cart that's essentially the size of a minivan in there.
Oh, I thought it was more of a barn.
No, well, the barn is behind the house.
Okay. So with that being said, maybe I'm just gonna sit in the house, not outside.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna find a quiet place to sit, and that's when you're gonna see my eyes go green, and Kiddo's just gonna take over for it.
There's a big blue armchair with a big red blanket that's draped over the back of it, sitting in front of the fireplace. Nice plush place for you to sit up and wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit on the floor next to that. 'Cause
Okay.
that's probably Ma or Pa's chair, and I don't want to make an elf go angry again.
They live a long time, so they don't let go of grudges quickly. Cool. So what are the two of you doing, Heather, Kelly?
I'm looking for silver. If silver's the only thing that's affecting it, anything and everything we can find, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that mean the two of you are going to be doing that? Just trying to gather up everything you can?
Yeah.
Sounds
Okay.
good to me.
Okay, since you have time, I'm going to have you roll with advantage. I want you to roll investigation.
Both of us, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Yikes.
Yikes. See, tested the dice gods.
Well, luckily
I'm
she
so
gets to roll it-
sorry.
She gets to
For
roll
whatever I
again
did.
because she's got advantage, right?
That's okay. It's okay. Because even though you got a 3, Kelly got a 19. Things are still all right.
She has advantage, so doesn't she get to roll again?
Oh yeah, you both get to roll a second time.
Kelly, you don't have to. I'm just saying.
Well,
Well, it won't matter.
I think you should because you never know. You could roll a 20.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Cholula was meant to roll low this time.
The Weaver's mad at you for undoing the carpet.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so Torch, you still got 19. So yeah, you're able to scour first the inside of the house. You got leftover silverware, you've got a whole tea set, you got, odds and ends. Searching through the barn, you're able to find not just one, but 4 barrels full of nails. And there's a whole area that is meant for shoeing of animals. So there's a large hammer and an anvil and a bunch of raw metal. It's not all silver, but there is some. Because, silver is still a very expensive thing. That's why it's currency. But yeah, you're able to gather up a bunch of stuff, and you also have the means of melting it down if necessary, seeing as how you found a forge.
Yeah, I'd say we should
Make
forge it
some-
into some things.
Right, some arrowheads.
Let's see. If you want to do that, you can. Let's see. What are your tool proficiencies? Do you have proficiency with blacksmithing tools? It would be under the left-hand side of your sheet, like armor, weapons, tools.
Weapons, tools, I have navigation tools.
Mhm.
No, that's about it.
Okay.
I have brewers supplies, jewelers tools and vehicles.
Okay. Yeah, none of that is blacksmithing, so you can still roll to melt things down here, but you're going to be doing it at a disadvantage if you're trying to melt it into a thing, as opposed to just melting it down.
I bet we need Ymir here.
What you could do, though, is you could melt it down into a molten metal and then pour it over your current weapons.
That's an epic idea.
Just, DM thinking outside the box.
What y'all think?
I'm not there.
Yeah. Lord Daddy was checked out.
Quite literally. Where did you say tools was at?
Left-hand side of the sheet at the bottom, it says armor, weapons, tools, and languages.
Okay. I mean, I have something with the word forge in it. It's just not going to help us. As it's forgery.
Or Jerry.
We're going to go with forgery.
Okay, so what's your plan then? You've got all this silver. Are you going to try and do something with it, or are you just going to use it as it is for something?
I like the idea of melting it down.
Mhm.
I think we should probably imbue our weapons, and then I feel like we should use the rest to make some arrowheads.
You
What do you
can
guys think?
you can certainly try to make arrowheads. That will require a roll, but it'll be at disadvantage because none of you know how to use blacksmithing tools.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Then
Once
I mean,
they
you can do it.
Once it's heated up, can they leave it heated up and see if either of our other compadres can do it?
I mean, yeah. Like
yes,
once it's melted down, you can always melt it again. It's just like there's a big difference between taking your weapon and laying it down on the ground and pouring metal on it than there is taking metal and turning it into a thing all on its own.
Oh, so I can just melt all the metal and put my tips of all the arrows that I do have into it, and how I have silver tipped arrows.
you
That's what I
go.
want to do.
I'm very proud of you for figuring that out.
Yay, Torch. Go, Torch.
That is upgrading your player right there. That's awesome.
I think we should go get Dadu though, and let him know what we're doing. Well, probably Illyria as well. Wait, yeah, is it Illyria?
Illyria, yeah.
Maybe she'll want to make some bullets or dip some bullets. I don't know.
You do know that the bayonet on her gun is silvered.
Oh yeah, that's right. She does have the silver.
She
bayonet.
described Ma going through these things like a pitchfork through hay.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So she's good, but
Well,
we
no,
need to get Dadu and everybody else hooked up too.
It's still good to have her have bullets. That way she can do long range stuff.
I mean, no one has consulted her as to what kind of weaponry or armory or anything she has. So you don't really she could have 700 guns underneath the floor and you have no idea yet.
That is a good point.
So I'm not saying that you're having a bad idea, but you technically never asked her whether or not she was capable of that.
That's true.
Didn't she say they only had the gun between the three of them though?
They had
No.
one gun.
Only one gun. She might have more things. That's all.
But I assume that Kelly, Heather, you do the things that you declared, and then you come back for Lord Dadu.
Yeah.
While you're sitting in there, Ryan, looking through the eyes of Kiddo, you don't see the things that you know that you fought before. You don't see the things that are laying around outside. You do see something, though. You see off in the distance, so far away that you can't see what it is. There is something riding at you very quickly. There's a large cloud of dust behind it.
Interesting.
Shit. I wish I had my carpet. Damn it.
I'm gonna have Kiddo come back to me, and I'm gonna tell everybody.
So Cholula and Torch get back into the house before Kiddo, open the door up, walk inside, Kiddo swoops in after, and then lands down right next to you, Ryan. So now all of you are in the room together. Illyria is still over there trying to write out things on your scroll to translate.
Okay. At that, I'm gonna say, hey, something's coming. I can't see what it is yet, but there's dust on the horizon. We got company coming.
At this point, you know that you have 3 hours left.
How much longer is it gonna take her to translate that scroll?
So she has I'm going to throw some rules your way so that you have it. She does not have this language as one of her known languages. What she does have is a book that if you spend, the way it's described, if you spend a week reading it, you learn the language that's within it. What she's trying to do right now is a very, very quick read over translation from that book to that scroll so you can get the information you need now. The accuracy of it is about 75%,
Okay.
but that's more than you had. That said, since it's essentially being used like I mean, it's not technically being disposed of, but it's being used like a scroll, like disposable. I'm going to have it cast at the same length. And so it takes 3 hours. So she still has to have at least 1 more hour to finish translating.
Okay. Well, at least we got the time before it gets here.
You do.
What do we want to do, folks?
Do you want to set up a perimeter? Do you want to find places that you can post up? Are you interested in trying to set up some sort of trap or ambush outside of the walls?
Is there any oil here?
Oil?
Yeah.
No.
No.
There is a big keg of black powder, though.
Anything that's sustainably flammable?
They have lamp oil, but it's not like a lot. They've just got lamps all over the place.
Hmm. I feel like since fire is bad for these things, we should probably have maybe some fires like outside.
Okay.
What do you guys think? We have 3 hours.
You do?
Do we have time to go a good distance from the wall and make proper fireplaces so that it doesn't just catch the whole field on fire?
Heather, I want you to make a roll for me. Now, I'm thinking about what you just said. I want you to make a roll. Make an animal handling check with advantage.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes. Cool. And this is going to be the silliest thing that you've ever succeeded on the check for. Because you've spent as much time as you have with a toad at this point, you are fully aware of how flammable toad shit is.
Oh, lovely.
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about that and I was going to suggest.
You are on a farm full of toads.
Let's get some poop.
I
Shovel
know,
some shit.
like I said, this is the silliest thing I've ever had anyone succeed this well at. Yeah, you're just like, oh yeah, no, animals. Yeah, of course, we'll just go and make some of that. So you effectively have as much flammable material as you kind of need.
We can
Let's
make a
do it.
poo circle around us and light it on fire.
That's what I'm thinking. We got 3
Yeah.
hours. Let's make this happen. Get
Yeah,
something for
I
your
agree.
nose
Oh,
and let's
remember,
go to work.
in half the area we can't.
Right? Can we smell
anything,
it though?
so it's
Right?
okay.
We
Well,
can't
that's
smell
right.
anything.
We
You
can't smell, so I guess we're
anything on the
good.
farm.
We can
Makes it
cover
even
ourselves
better.
in that shit.
I don't know if we want to go that far with
I
it.
don't want to light myself on fire though.
Exactly.
God, a real torch. Okay. I'm not going to make you like sort of like act that out or anything. I just want to make sure. Is that what you're going to do? You're going to try and surround the perimeter with toad poop.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. I think I'm also kind of thinking toad poop bombs. Like maybe
Okay.
we could ball some up that we could like, I
What
don't
you
know,
could,
maybe stick on something.
what you could probably do is you could fill buckets with it.
Yes. Buckets.
Think we need a bucket full of gunpowder and silver nails so we could just blow that thing up and send them every which way.
You're a brilliant, Torch. Let's do it. Yes, we're making a poop bomb full of silver.
But everyone thinks outside the box. Yes.
If we've got enough poop in buckets, can we put like one on every, not corner, but one on, like in the middle of every side? And that way, no matter what side they come from, we have a bomb that we can blow up.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely do that.
Let's make it
I'm
happen.
not going to sort of like DM away how many buckets there are. I'm just going to say you're on a farm where they milk toads. There's probably a shit ton of buckets.
Literally.
So-
Shit ton.
All right. All the poop jokes this time. I'm sure right now William and Cody are dying laughing.
Well, this game really went to shit.
Oh. All right.
not
all right.
proud.
So you're setting up poopkin bombs all over the place. You've got a perimeter of poop around the outside of the farm. I guarantee you that whatever your plan is right now, this was not anything that Illyria would have thought of. We use the poop to our advantage. Go on.
Hey, it's a shitty situation, but we got to make the most of it.
All right, awesome. So as you set up the last of your I'm just gonna call them explosives. Your fertilizer bombs. And you make your way back to the house. Illyria closes the book and rolls the scroll up and hands it back to you. I don't know if what I found is right or not, but if I did, you need to be careful.
What did it say?
Are you going to unroll the scroll and look at it?
Oh,
Or
she actually wrote it.
asking her? I'm trying to make sure that it's in character or out of character.
First, I'm just going to straight ask her.
The boogeyman, kind of.
Okay. All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, I guess. I hate giving bad news, but there ain't any good news in there.
It's only bad news is if he's coming for me. I took this off an enemy.
Okay, then I'm going to go ahead, unless anyone has anything they want to declare last minute here. that, I'm going to hand wave the rest of your time here and fast forward us to where everything is beginning.
Do we want to start that 20 minutes before we end?
We're not going to start the battle. What
Okay.
I'm asking is there anything else you want to declare that you have prepared before I tell you you can't prepare anymore? Because you effectively have 2 hours.
Should we get some food?
There is food
That
here.
we're,
Like, you're welcome to eat, drink, and do whatever here.
we should probably eat so that we have all our strength.
You did take a long rest right before you left the last place, so you don't need to have a rest in order to get back spells or anything like that. You don't have any risk of exhaustion right now. You technically could get a point of exhaustion if you were fighting through the night,
Okay.
but otherwise, I mean, even then, that first point isn't that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have a meal here and just sort of prepare yourself for what's coming, cool. Illyria breaks out the best stuff that she's got on the shelf and puts down 3 big bottles of wine, a large ration of cheese, 2 fresh loaves of bread, and what looks to be some form of meat, but you've never seen anything that color of green before. Y'all help yourselves. She goes back over to her bench and begins to make more bullets.
You think the green meat is toad?
Probably.
Good guess. You're on a toad farm. You're on a pig farm. People eat ham.
It's true.
See, I would think they'd eat beef because why waste the product?
I mean, not to mention, I told you at the very beginning, these toads are essentially considered sacred. So if one is sick or dying, they're not going to let it go to waste.
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna sit down and eat
Yeah.
because having food is
Cool.
good, and I'm gonna feed little bits of bread and meat to kiddo.
Okay, cool. Let's see. So after completing this meal, you now, until your next long rest, have advantage on any constitution checks or saving throws.
Sweet. That was a good meal.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so as you finish your meal and you sort of settle in and try to ready yourself mentally for what's about to happen, you hear what sounds like bats screeching from way outside the gate. It's so loud that it echoes off the hills around the backside of the farm. It's chilling. And it's loud enough that even Illyria looks up from her workbench to recognize it. They're coming. You look out the windows and you can see that the last light of day is starting to fall behind the mountain.
These walls, are they wide enough to stand on?
Yeah. I mean, the back wall technically isn't, because the back wall is mostly the back of the barn.
But they're not coming from that direction.
No, they're not coming from that. I'm just making sure I declare it to you that you technically can't run around the entire wall.
Okay.
But yeah, the left, right, and front, yes.
Have we lit our perimeter fire yet?
I would say let's not do that until they're about to cross it. You might as well use
Okay.
it as a weapon the first time you light it.
Okay.
Are you going to send Kiddo out to look at what's going on?
No, in this instance, I think I'm just gonna go to the wall
Mhm.
and I'm going to sit on it so that I'm mostly concealed, but I can see out.
Okay. As you climb up there, you see off in the distance, the last light of the sun is starting to go behind the mountain. And that light that's casting out, you can see things crawling through the grass, the same smoky essence coming off of them as you had seen them before. And beyond that, that cloud of dust that you saw coming at you, it's not dust. It is this long, dark
Oh, what is it?
vapor trail coming off of a massive winged beast that is flying very low to the ground and is gaining on you quickly. It's about 200 feet, 250 feet out. And judging by what you're watching, it can move at somewhere between 80 and 100 feet a turn. It's
I'm gonna-
fast. And that is what you hear screeching.
Fantastic.
And
I'm gonna yell out.
as its
That-
screeching dies down, you're gonna yell out to your friends.
I'm gonna try to, yeah. Tell them, hey, it's coming quick. Let's be ready.
Illyria grabs her gun and heads around back to post up on top of the barn. Where are you going? Ryan, you're up on the wall.
I too would like to get up on the wall, just because I feel like if we're gonna light our perimeter fire, maybe we should do it together.
Mhm.
Like maybe shoot some flaming arrows. Is that possible?
Sure. I mean, if you
Okay.
have arrows, you can light them on fire and shoot them. You can do that.
And the little things that are crawling, they're ahead of this
Mhm.
big winged creature. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll say that this perimeter fire that you created is about 60 feet out and it's sort of circular around the outside of the farm. These things are about 90 feet out. So they're getting close to it. In fact, they're probably close enough that they could touch it next turn. Not that we're technically taking turns right now, but to sort of give you an idea. That's where you see them at. I want to make sure that we declare something here, though, since you're both going to be on the wall. Are you next to each other? Are you in different spots on the wall? And I want to make sure of which wall you're on, the left, the right, or the front.
Whichever one that they're approaching from.
They're approaching
Yeah.
from the front of the farm.
Yeah, and I'd like to be like kind of on an opposite area from Dadu so that like we can,
Okay. So like either side of the gate,
yeah.
Sure.
because you technically can't cross the gate because it's just a big iron arch. So you're posted up on either side. Torch, where are you?
I want to be by Dadu, so like if he's flighting Kiddo around, I can protect him.
Good idea.
Thank you.
That's a good plan.
Awesome. Good job, Ryan. You have become not expendable. Awesome. Okay, so everything is as ready as it can be. As these things begin approaching, you can feel a cold coming on as the temperature around you drops very suddenly. And your breath comes out in big white clouds. It's like it became winter here in a matter of moments. No snow, but ice cold.
We don't say that word.
Now,
It's called service now.
Exactly.
and the thing, this winged creature, sort of booms up and reaches out its wings in this massive show of giant shadowy tentacles, flaps one big time, and you can feel this necrotic energy rush across you. No damage done, but you immediately can feel this overwhelming sense of fear for whatever that is. That's where I'm calling game.
Dang.
So,
Woohoo!
yeah, next time, fight for your life.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yes, Ryan.
I was gonna say, by the way, we don't necessarily need to expend an arrow to light that. Eldritch Blast is lightning.
Yep.
And I've got unlimited of
Yes.
that.
Okay, so
I can also hit them where they stand.
Yeah, but then you're
Awesome.
blowing up acid everywhere, right? Aren't they gonna be exploding acid? Bloop.
Not if I'm aiming for the big one.
Who's gonna
it's-
expend acid everywhere?
Hey, as long as it kills those little buddies, I'm okay with it.
That's true, that's true. We don't have to
Mhm.
necessarily be in the acid blast.
for today's game, I'm going to award 750 experience points.
Ooh.
Wow.
Between the incredible interactions you did, the rolls way, way high, and I can't believe how great Torch has become immediately figuring out the strategies to do whatever she needs in this situation. I am awarding extra experience points for that alone. That is,
Yay.
I love seeing players get to that point.
Go Torch. Go Torch. Go Torch.
Awesome. So I hope everybody enjoys your boon of experience. I hope that everyone is super ready for next time. And I really hope everyone can make it next time because
Very-
this is going to be wild. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but I look forward to hearing from anybody that rewatches this because this is a fun one.